Welcome to an episode of Marcus pre-ordered a bunch of stuff on Amazon at 2 a.m. and he forgot. Woo! Woo! Can I hear it in the back? Woo! He's way back there. You guys couldn't hear him, but there was somebody cheering. Thanks, Jerry. Everybody's cheering except for Marcus's wallet. All joking aside, this is actually an amazing deal. I pre-ordered a bunch of SpongeBob figures because I wanted to review them here on the channel. And some of these are figures I have been waiting forever the chance to open them. I think it might be this one. No, this one. No, it's not you. Don't you trick me. It's this one. It has to be this one. I feel like it's gotta be the biggest box. This one in particular, I am super pumped for. So let's start with this one, okay? Also, sorry for the weird intro here, guys. I'm also filming this video at like 1 a.m. I gotta stop staying up so late and doing things. But sometimes when your brain's been activated for like 14, 15, 16 hours, I don't even know how many, you know how it goes. When you get to this time in the night, your brain starts doing weird things. What did you say? But you guys know how much I love characters that don't get a lot of representation. This is what I do, is collect SpongeBob stuff, Nickelodeon stuff. And we see a lot of SpongeBob, Patrick, Gary, Mr. Krabs, Squidward. But I love when we get some of these side characters. That's why I love these Bikini Bottom buddies that we just opened up on the channel recently. So you already know I'm going to love this because this is a character that I don't think has ever gotten like a substantial figure in her entire 25-year history. And that is the daughter of the mother of pearl. We have Pearl here. Yes, Pearl has finally got a figure. Can we get a like for freaking Pearl? She has like one plushie that exists, and that thing goes for like $200 because it's impossible to find. And then I think she has like some small figures out of like those quarter machines back in the day. But other than that, she ain't got much. But now we finally have an official Pearl figure here. And this was done by the brand NECA for the 25th anniversary. And my goodness, is this a good deal? You can get this right now on Amazon, I believe, for like $17. I almost stabbed myself in the throat. There's a hole in my packaging, which I'm kind of upset about, but the knife went through there. About $17, which is like $2 more than a Funko Pop, and you get two figures. Oh my gosh, I am genuinely filled with glee. I'm so hyped to have a Pearl figure. So we have, I'm gonna save her for last. We have Mr. Krabs. That's a substantially sized figure. He is beautiful. Of course, we do have some Mr. Krabs in the collection. He's got his whole own little shelf here. And you know what you don't see anywhere on that shelf? His kin. You don't see his daughter anywhere there because she never had a figure. But our first ever Pearl. Oh my goodness. She is perfect. NECA, you guys actually killed it. Like, she looked so good. And Pearl is a tough character to actually pull off just because of the fact her head, or I guess like her mouthpiece here, whatever you call the nose of a nuzzle, or whatever you call the head of a whale, is so big that it can be tough. But I think with all the video game releases and stuff like that, they've gotten the 3D mold for her down well enough to where we can start getting figures. I am already giving Pearl a 10 out of 10. I cannot believe it. I think that the other characters right now are like $25, closer to their retail. I think when they first came out, they were like $30. But of course on Amazon, you know, they have sales from time to time. I think they're like 25. But this one, I think because it is Mr. Krabs and Pearl, only like the really true SpongeBob fans are ordering this, rather than like most parents for their kids, or like if a collector can only get one of them, they're probably ordering SpongeBob or the other one that I'm gonna show. Oh, and also I also picked up another set of these that I'm gonna be giving away for free on my Whatnot stream. I do giveaways every single week, but I'm to celebrate this Pearl, I am gonna be giving one away for free on Whatnot. If you guys aren't a part of Whatnot, go check it out. You can sign up for absolutely free. You get $15 towards your first pickup if you want to pick up anything in the shows, but you can sign up for free. You can come watch the show for free. You can even enter the giveaways for free. Shipping's paid for, not a dime comes out of your pocket. But like I said, if you do want to pick up something, we do have our auctions every single week with lots of fun nostalgic stuff, and you get $15 for free that you can actually use to get an item for absolutely free as well if you would like. So link for that is down below, and maybe you can end up winning Pearl very soon here. Okay, this one I'm not happy with how they packaged it. I mean, like, it's literally just in a bag. There's like no protection whatsoever. I mean, I guess I'm glad it's Amazon because of the fact that, like, you know, it probably didn't go too far. It just came from a warehouse straight here. Oh no, it's them two too. They're old, brittle bones. We got Mermaid Man Man and Barnacle Boy.
Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy, unite!
We have the 25th anniversary set for Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy. And I'm trying to think, have they got figures before? I mean, there is a couple. There is the Funko Pop ones, I'd say, but those are obviously very stylistic, so they're not good representations of the characters by themselves. You have the Dissectable ones, and then you have a couple other like vinyl figures where they're like in a invisible boatmobile or something like that, but just like solid profiles of both of them. I think this might be one of the few, but the fact that you can get both of them in a 2-pack like this is just beautiful. I do think that the packaging on these is a little uneventful. It just feels like it could be any like modern era, pineapple era SpongeBob box, and I feel like you can't really see the characters inside of them. So I just feel like for displayability, they're not really that interesting. So like if you wanted to keep them in box, you could, but for me, I feel like in some cases, it's better just to take them out of the box because man, does that look good. We have Mermaid Man here, and you do not see that. From the outside, it looked like he was gonna be light, kind of like a hollow body because his body shape is essentially just a sphere with like arms, legs, and a head. So like I thought he was gonna be like light, but I mean, my man is thick. He got that butt set to Wumbo. He's got some weight on there. I love that you can actually see the dimension of his nose on the actual starfish there. You can see that it's actually, his nose is kind of pushed up within there because that's actually how Mermaid Man is able to breathe underwater. It's one of the non-official lores in the show that they gave him to how he's able to breathe underwater is that the starfish that's on his mouth is actually what filters the water and produces oxygen through his nostrils. So he's therefore able to breathe underwater. And I think Barnacle Boy in the not 100% confirmed but kind of lore is that his lungs are filled with barnacles. So that's why he didn't have anything on his face. We have Barnacle Boy here. And oh man, he is really cool too. They're both adorable. I would say that the Barnacle Boy is more cute, but I think that Mermaid Man is a better sculpt of Mermaid Man as a whole. But next to each other, they are fantastic. I love this. They're like, like they could have sold the figures individually and that would have been fine too, but I love that they picked two characters that work really well together. Like obviously the duo of these two are father and daughter, and kind of coupled them together to kind of give you more value, and it makes it fun kind of thinking about their connection to each other and the relationship those two characters have. And I failed to mention this on the Mr. Krabs and Pearl. I don't believe they are removable from their bases, so you have to keep them on their base, but at least the base is a very cool like shell design. I thought for Mr. Krabs it was to represent like the Krusty Krab, but that's on all of them, so I think it's just an overall nautical theme. But man, like look at this. And you guys already know I'm beating up a dead horse here. I always say comparing it to Funko. If you wanted 4 Funko Pops of this style, you would be looking at like around freaking 60 bucks. This is around like 35, 40, and look at how much bigger they are. Look at how much more accurate they are to the characters. For me, this brings me so much more nostalgia, being able to see such good profiles, being able to see such good representations of the characters. So value-wise, I gotta say they killed it. You already know that if you pick this 2-pack up at Box Lunch or FYE, it's gonna be $40. So being able to get it at its suggested resale price of $29.99 or even cheaper in the case of this one at $17.99, a steal. And I'm gonna give Mermaid Man a Barnacle Boy. I have to do them individually because I can't. Like Pearl is a 10 out of 10. I want to give her 11. Mr. Krabs, I'm gonna give it an 8. Barnacle Boy, I'm gonna give it an 8. Mermaid Man, I'm thinking a 9. I want to give him a 10 too, but I give Pearl a 10, and she's just so fantastic over here that I can't give him the same ranking as her. But realistically, they're all 10s on awesomeness, but comparatively to each other. Okay, and then we have another one here. Oh man, I am murdering these guys by taking them all out of box here. The inbox collector in me is like trying to fight his way out of me like Kurama. He's like in this cage and he's like, bastard. How dare you? And then like the SpongeBob fan, just like I have to see them, Marcus is just winning right now. Like I just have to see them at the box. Okay, so we have another one here. It does not end here. We have some more here, guys. So this right here is another 2-pack. So you guys try to guess who it is. I'm gonna try to cover it. It is in the comments right now. Who do you think it is? It is SpongeBob, and who else could it be here? Okay, it's another character that has Bob at the end here. Let me know who you think he's tied together with. It is Doodle Bob. Ah, I love it. I could already see. It's like the box is not like it's doing any favors with the shit. Like it covers so much of them that the shadow drops onto the figures. But look at SpongeBob with the giant pencil. With the giant pencil. He looks so dynamic, and that's such a cool moment, you know, to just kind of bring up.
Aw, look at him. Ain't he a doll?
Oh, man, they killed it on the honestly, I thought the Doodle Bob's really good too. Okay, so let's start with the SpongeBob here. The SpongeBob is beautiful. His feet, like look at how his feet are standing off of the base. Like it's almost like the base is there, but he's doing his own thing. He's transcending the locations his feet should be to kind of protect himself against Doodle Bob with the eraser. His eyes, how they're slightly pushed together a little bit more and made a little bit more slim to kind of give it that surprise look. And his body language pivoted backward is all captured in such subtle ways that I'm truly shocked on how well they were able to pull this off in the price range that they did. You can even see like on the top of his head where they even added the imprints for where his eyebrows should be in order to really sell the expression on his face, which is a very light touch that most people wouldn't notice. So the fact they went that extra mile means so much. But that's not just it. The Doodle Bob here, oh man, they did a great job on him too. His same thing, like Doodle Bob is a really easy character to mess up because how do you give a dimension to a character that is like somehow even more two-dimensional than SpongeBob himself? But yet they were still able to do it. There's a little bit of bend to his body and he's kind of walking in a pose that is like similar to like a Frankenstein, which obviously Frankendoodle being the episode, it's a really cool like homage to that name almost, that he's doing the Frankenstein style walk. You know, when you think about Frankenstein, you think like, and that's essentially what he's doing here. That is awesome. So then you put the two side by side, and then you've got Frankendoodle, you got Doodle Bob kind of walking towards him, and SpongeBob kind of trying to fend him off with the eraser. These two, for being SpongeBob, I gotta say, I think those beat Mermaid Man Barnacle Boy for me. I didn't think that would happen, but I fully expected to rank this one the lowest. But no, I'm gonna give this higher ranking. Actually, like this is Mr. Krabs, but it's just Mr. Krabs. Had he been doing some kind of like loving eyes and kind of just like affectionate face towards Pearl, I would have loved that. Pearl, just being Pearl, she's killing it because we haven't seen her before. Mermaid Man Barnacle Boy looked fantastic, but the way that they presented SpongeBob in such a unique and fun way that makes him feel like he's about to walk off the base puts him above everybody but Pearl. I would say that this is a better set than the Mr. Krabs and Pearl, but Pearl here is solo bodying everybody just because she exists. Had it not been Pearl, this would have been number one though. But these three are by far the best figures of all 6 of the ones we just unboxed here. 10 out of 10 on both Doodle Bob and also SpongeBob. Putting them in the same ranking as Pearl, I would just give Pearl, Ryan, make her Good Noodle Stars glittery. Have them shine a little bit. Yeah, they're slightly more powerful Good Noodle Stars out of 10 than these two because it's Pearl. And I've already explained the uniqueness of it, but what a beautiful set here. You get this entire set here for roughly around $60 and you get 6 fantastic, beautiful figures that are great stature too. I said like almost every single one of these is bigger than your average Funko Pop. I mean, this one's got Gary on his head, so you really got to look at it like here. They're all bigger than your average Funko Pop, and not just that, more detailed and more weighty too, especially him. He's very weighty. I'm sorry, I think they're putting a little bit of lead in them brand flakes, Mermaid Man. But a beautiful set. Let me get my boxes back together, but we're not even done yet, okay? We are not done yet. So those are the ones I pre-ordered, but since I was already making the order, I did see some other items that popped up, and I was like, okay, all right, I see, I'll get them. You guys know I've been collecting these guys, which are these like holder figures by the brand Hold'ems. Hold'em cable guys. I got this one at freaking FYE for like $30. That's what I'm talking about. Like, these would be $40 each, $120 for the set at FYE. So I paid that much for this one, and I love this one because he holds my SpongeBob remote, which goes to my SpongeBob TV and my SpongeBob DVD player right by my SpongeBob TV. But at the time when I got that one, that was the only one available. But since then, they have released Mr. Krabs and also Squidward. And Mr. Krabs was available on Amazon for only $13. So I also picked up the Mr. Krabs here because I actually have like 4 remotes there that I need to hold, which is perfect for the amount that they have, being a Squidward and Patrick one that we still need. I have a PlayStation remote, I have 2 SpongeBob remotes, and also one for the SpongeBob monitor in the back there. So this is actually a perfect amount to hold all the remotes. All right, so we popped him open here. The box, I'm not a big fan of these boxes, to be honest. You couldn't really even keep the box if you wanted to. And it's so hard to get the figure out. It starts to make you aggressive. You're like, why am I so angry? You're starting to piss me off. I just want to open you. 0 out of 10 on the packaging. I know you thought this was like a cool, really, it's kind of cool looking, but it's really, at least just make it a little easier to open, okay? So the Mr. Krabs here. Oh, that's a nice little touch. They have the Mr. Krabs here. I like it. He's got, that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, rather than him just being Mr. Krabs, he's got kind of like a little, yeah, I'm holding the big money remote. Of course I am. And then he's got some cash in the back of his pocket right there too. A nice little touch. You know, I love that little greedy, penny pinching smile he's got right there. He looks like he's about to sucker you out of a deal any minute. So let's give him the Mr. SpongeBob remote out of a lack of a better option for him to hold right now. And you can see he actually holds it a little bit more firmly than SpongeBob does. So you have Mr. Krabs holding it. It does kind of block his face a little bit. And I did say that about the SpongeBob one as well too. I wish the figures were a little bit bigger so that way you could actually have them hold the remote and it wouldn't cover their face as much. But I do get it. And they also market them as if like, oh, you can connect them all so you can have 4 of them. But it's like, why would you do that? Like, one of them is like, okay, he's holding something that you need him to hold, but like, why would you just connect them and have like 4 of them just doing this? But like at least one of them in the back cannot hold anything, and the 3 in front can only hold something relatively small because the arms block the other. It doesn't make a lot of sense, what I'm saying. As much sense as this packaging, which I can't keep because you have to rip the box to get it out, so it doesn't really matter at this point. I'm gonna say at $15, I will give it a 9 out of 10. It's a fun product, very cute. Ah, man, look at the mold though on this. Like, I really don't like the paint. Look at his necktie there. You see how like, you can see like this plastic bits there that are just kind of hanging on his collar. And like, if I want to scrape that off, it removes the, oh yeah, see, like literally trying to scrape that little bit of plastic off, remove the paint in that section. I probably shouldn't have done that, but now I'm like fixated on it. So now you can see there's a little bit of paint missing on his collar there, which is unfortunate, especially considering that they're asking 30 at like box lunch. And if you compare the color application on the two, I mean, it's night and day. And this is way cheaper than this one actually is if you're talking about like the bundle versus the singular one here. I do like his face though. I'm gonna go back to that, I guess. I did like his face, but this is clearly paint, whereas that is actually vinyl. That is that color. So I'm gonna go ahead and give this a 7 out of 10. I mean, it's okay. I'm gonna try to complete the set. I do like it for the unique reason of being able to hold my remotes. So I say if you just want one of them to hold something in your house, get one. You know, the average person doesn't have to get all of them. It doesn't have that many remotes. So I would say you would be solid with one of them. But we are not done yet. You're like, oh my gosh, Marcus, how much content can you give? Actually, just a little bit more, actually. Not that much more, but a bit. If you want more content, though, I actually have some videos that aren't available anywhere else unless you're a member here on YouTube or a member of our Patreon. You can become a member right here on YouTube. And if you want extended versions of videos as well, you can also become a member on Patreon. Both those links are down below, and then YouTube, you can just do right here on the website. But our last one here, I've been dogging them all night long, which now that I've said that is kind of a weird sentence, but let's not think about that too much. I've been not really saying the best things about them all night, but I had to get this one. This is the Amazon exclusive Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy Funko Pop. And my goodness, is that a big box. That is massive. They keep pulling me back in. Every time I'm like, no, I don't want no Funko Pop. Stay away from me. I don't want you. And then they released the Fairly Odd Parents Funko Pop. I'm like, no, please, I'm thinking about it, but I don't want them, okay? Then they released Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy on the freaking invisible boatmobile, and I'm like, I can refuse you no longer. And they released Jimmy Neutron and Carl Weezer. They won't let me leave. I need to go to sleep. But we got Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy here, and man, they look sick. They look awesome. So the box is massive. That's one thing that did kind of bother me about this one, because I have the Funko Pop wall setup going on here where all my Funko Pops are like at the highest point in the collection, and this won't fit there. This won't, you know, but I have every single SpongeBob Funko Pop. I think I'm only missing like the one where he says like, all right, I'm about to head out. That one, I think I might not have that one, but other than that, I have every other SpongeBob Funko Pop they've ever released. So, and I'll get that one eventually. So to stay true to it, I decided to pick this one up while I was on Amazon. Yeah. That's dope. So it's got Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy just kind of hovering there in the invisible boatmobile. Obviously they are just on their little like acrylic bases back here. They're kind of keeping them floating up, but it looks perfect. Like it's such like, you know what I mean? Like if somebody walked in your room who had no clue about the show or anything like that, they would probably be like, huh, that's a little like weird. But if you know, you know. This is how they ride, you know? You don't know if they're driving or they're using the invisible bathroom.
I'm actually in the lavatory of the invisible plane.
And then they have the exhaust just coming out the back here, which is the only indicator, really, that they are in the invisible boatmobile. When this thing is parked, you would never know where it's at. I mean, even they don't know where it's at most of the time. And the faces of Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy, a little, I wouldn't say lazy, but I mean, a little bit. You know, these are just the Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy Funko Pop faces that they had in the release they did for, I forget whatever convention it was. I want to say like New York Comic Con, something like that. But you know, that's one of my biggest gripes with Funko Pop is just rinse and repeat the same thing. I'm sure we're gonna get a flocked Mermaid Man, freaking transparent Mermaid Man, glow in the dark Mermaid Man. Let's be real, the only reason we got the invisible boatmobile was because they didn't have to actually make a boatmobile. That's the only reason they did this. They're like, wow, that's a huge savings opportunity there. Didn't they do the invisible jet for Wonder Woman and they actually at least made like a transparent jet? Yes, see, I was gonna say. So they made the invisible jet for Wonder Woman and she actually has a transparent jet. But they were like, you know, that's 2016 Funko. That's old Funko. No, we're taking that opportunity. So we just get them sitting in the air. When you think about it, it's just the NYCC one with their legs bent and this fire added here and a base. But it looks fantastic, all right? I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 9. I'm gonna give it an 8.5 out of 10. An 8.5 out of 10. I would have loved it. Maybe they could have given like Mermaid Man's hair some blowback to it. Maybe add some like tire marks on the ground here. I mean, if you're not giving us an actual vehicle because it's invisible, really go in on like everything else essentially as much as you can. Maybe even add like some bubbles coming off these base pieces here or off their hands, whatever, you know, to add some dimensions to it. But that is our last figure for today. I gotta say that this ones that still stand out to me the most, and I really didn't expect that today because it's like, you know, SpongeBob has a million figures. This one, he looks so animated that it really brings it to life so well. And I'd say these were the two standouts for me. And of course, the fact that we finally got to, in this episode of the show, be able to add a Pearl item to the collection of substance. Again, not like a t-shirt or, you know, like a sticker, like an actual figure, something more weightedly tangible. So you guys let me know what was your favorite figure that we covered tonight or this morning. It's really, really late at this point. I'm gonna go to sleep. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new here. Again, if you want to win your own Pearl and also Mr. Krabs, you could go possibly win it on my Whatnot stream. That link's down below. And again, if you guys want to support this show and help keep us sailing over these bikini bottom seas, becoming a member here on YouTube or a member of our Patreon is the #1 way to support this show and keeps these videos coming for years to come. Thank you so much to our already existing members and Patreon members. Appreciate you guys. I love you guys. But before we go anywhere, you know the drill. Scan it. So the Pearl, I did want to share with you guys just because I think it looks so good. You know, a lot of times I add stuff, but I don't add it to the end of the video because sometimes it takes time and I don't want to postpone the release of the video and stuff like that now. But this one was so like, I had to do it at the moment because the Mr. Krabs section needed this so bad. We got Pearl over here now with all the other Mr. Krabs and Krusty Krab stuff. All right, so that is it for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new here, and check out this video on your screen right here that I know you're gonna love. I will see you guys over there. And as always, beautiful people, I'll see you guys in the next one. Adios and bloop.